Have you ever had a time where you were going to make a decision and you had a feeling or maybe an instinct that told you not to do it, and you went ahead and did it anyways, and it turned out to be a disaster or to not go in your favor? And have you ever had times where you're going to make a decision and you knew for some reason deep down inside, you just had a feeling or knowing that it was going to work out, and then when you did it, it worked out? Well, that, ladies and gentlemen, is your intuition. That is your internal compass that is guiding you on the path of success. The challenge is that most people don't even realize that we have intuition. And if they do, they don't know how to actually tap into it so they can use it on a consistent basis. Usually it just happens accidentally. And so I'm here in Tulum at a private retreat that I do for my inner circle clients twice a year. And we do all intuition work. It's developing that internal guidance system. So again, we can make the best decisions for ourselves in every area of life, whether it's money and finances, our careers and our businesses, relationships, and in our health. And so because I'm here in Tulum doing this intuitive training, I wanted to spend a quick minute to give you guys some tips and tricks on how you can start to listen to intentionally, not just by accident, but how you can tune into that internal compass and use it to guide you in every way of your life. So the first tip I'm going to give you is to spend time alone. With modern society and, the cities that we live in, we're constantly around people. We're constantly bombarded by the energies of other people. And so spending time in solitude by yourself is a great way to start to get in touch with your internal guidance system. So then again, you can start to use it to help you in your life. Now, one of the other benefits of being alone is it gives you that time to contemplate and to start to work things out in your head, almost like putting the pieces to the puzzle together. And if we're constantly bombarded by other people, and even not even other people, just simply distractions like TVs or our phones, it's very hard to, again, put the pieces to the puzzle to lay out the blueprint of the decisions we're going to make. So spending that time alone. And one thing I like to do is just simply go for a drive. And I like to drive with no music, just me and my thoughts, and just let my mind sort of put these pieces together. Driving is a very meditative process. Also, things like walking or running without headphones, without music, just you and your own thoughts will really help you get in touch with your intuition and with your internal guidance system. Now, second thing you want to do, which plays into number one, is get out in nature. Again, we're in small, compact cities. There's all kinds of frequencies and Wi-Fi and all kinds of different things going around us all the time. And when you can get in touch with nature, you can really ground yourself and not be so inundated or bombarded by all these different frequencies and messages that may be coming in. So one thing I like to do is, again, drive out to right by my house. We live right up on the mountains. We kind of live in the country of Las Vegas, if that is a thing. We live in the desert. And I like to just drive out to the mountains and, again, just sit in solitude and really ground myself and just listen to the thoughts that may be coming into my mind. The third tip is to meditate and to go inwards and get really familiar with yourself. Most people have never meditated, or they try for 5 minutes and their mind is racing so much so where they just either get overwhelmed, they get anxious, or they give up and they think, well, that's it, I can't meditate. Look, meditation is a natural process that we all do all of the time. I mentioned driving on the freeway, and we've all been there before, where we're driving on the freeway, we're in such deep thought, and then suddenly we arrive at our destination and we don't really remember the drive. We just kind of all of a sudden appear there. Well, what happened there is you went into trance, which is that meditative state of mind. Now, if you can take that and you can sit in solitude in your home or, again, in nature, and just close your eyes and just tune in to the thoughts that are going into your mind, and again, get in touch with your internal guidance system, that'll really help you develop your intuition so that, again, you can begin to use it to help you make decisions. Again, I use this when I'm hiring people. I use this when I'm making decisions on a place to do my retreats at, right? Like, hey, is this place going to be the place that's conducive for this kind of work? I use this in my business when it comes to marketing and making videos and things like this. I really use this on an everyday basis to help guide me on that right path. So practice meditating, just closing your eyes, breathing, and doing some breath work for about 10 to 15 minutes. And again, getting in touch with yourself. Now, number 4 is to meditate on your third eye. So your third eye is your psychic center. That's where we develop our intuition. It's where we receive information. It's where we transmit information. And so by spending time to really put attention here on the third eye, that'll help you to be able to develop that internal compass. And what this also helps you to do is to speed up the time frame at which you're able to receive and digest information. In the beginning, when you're developing your intuition, you can, it may take time for you to really receive the right information that you're wanting to tap into. Or maybe you receive it, but you're not quite sure, like, am I listening to myself? Am I listening to my intuition? Like, which one is it? So by, again, meditating and putting attention on that third eye, it'll really help you to be able to decipher the information quickly. And it'll really help you to make those decisions, again, to go left, to go right, to do this, to not do this. So again, practicing meditating on the third eye is going to be really, really helpful. And number 5 is to practice predicting what you're going to see and things that are going to happen in your life. So what I mean by this is, one thing when I really first started developing this process is I would go for a drive, and maybe I was going to the store or go to eat, or maybe I was going on a long drive to go see my family or something. And before I would go on the drive, and even while I was driving, I would sort of put myself in that relaxed meditative state. I would allow myself to go into trance and tap into alpha brain waves. And then I would ask myself a question, and I'd say, hey, what's something I'm going to see on my drive to the restaurant right now? Or what's something I'm going to see on my way to the gym right now? And often I would get a picture, or I would hear the words, right? Maybe it was like, oh, I'm going to see a pink car, or I'm going to see a light bulb picture on the side of a truck. And either I would get an image, I would hear it, or I would get a sense or a feeling that it was going to happen. And all of a sudden, boom, the things that I started predicting that I was going to see, I would see. Now, what's interesting is when I first started doing this, it happens very quickly. It's like, bam, bam, bam. You'd be surprised. You'll get 10 out of 10 very, very quickly and easily. And then sometimes what happens is your conscious mind and your logical mind may start to doubt what's happening. Oh man, did I really just do that? Did I really just predict exactly what I was going to see? 5, 6, 7 things on a 20-minute drive that were completely random, right? Obviously you're going to see a white car, a gray car, but to see a light bulb picture on the side of a truck is pretty specific. And when you start to doubt yourself is when you will start to get the incorrect answers. And that's okay. That's part of the process, because what you're doing is you're starting to decipher and develop between, okay, when am I listening to my intuition? And when am I just listening to my conscious mind? When am I trying to guess rather than receive the information to put it out? So the more that you can practice that, again, you'll start to develop, it's sort of like jujitsu, where your instructor can teach you the move. Like, I can teach you the process. However, the small little details of like how to adjust your body in certain positions, how to be able to use your weight, or those things are only going to come by doing it. So there's only so much that I can teach you in a video like this. The other part of it is going to be you practicing, right? Like, hey, I went for that drive. I put myself in that meditative state. It's very simple. Just, relaxing while you're in that place and asking a question. Hey, what's something random I'm going to see on my way to the gym right now? And then boom, you'll get an answer. I like to say, what is something random, by the way, or what is something, that's not so common that you're going to see. And this way, it's not, again, white car, black truck. Those are things you're going to see. We want to get very, very specific, out of the ordinary things that you're not guessing. You're pulling in that information. So again, practicing all these things, being by yourself, going into nature, meditating, and then meditating on the third eye. And again, practice predicting what you're going to see. Practice receiving that information is really going to help you develop your intuition. And then when you practice it on the small things that don't really matter, again, you're going to the gym predicting what you're going to see, that'll help you develop the confidence and the tools to be able to make decisions when it comes to the bigger things, right? Like, hey, should I do this in my business or should I not? Should I hire this person or should I not? Should I, date this person or should I not? And so again, you start to develop your intuition on the smaller things, and it starts to help you with the bigger things. So guys, if you like this kind of content, like the video, comment down below some of the things maybe in your life where you've accidentally or intentionally used your intuition, maybe a feeling that you got and something happened. You're like, oh my God, I knew that was going to happen. And by commenting, what it'll actually do is it'll take you back to that moment of what happened and take you back to that time where you were tapping into your intuition. And again, if you like videos like this, I'm going to actually put another one here up next. You'll see it somewhere on the screen. And go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We'll see you guys in the next video.